Good morning. Welcome to our first service of 2026. Whenever we gather in this sacred space, it is made more sacred by the presence and attention of each and every one of us. Whether we are here in the sanctuary or attending by live stream from places far and near or viewing sometime in the future, we are here together. I invite those here in person to turn to the camera and wave to our live streaming friends. Let us take a moment now to greet one another.
Good morning. Welcome to you all. I'm Marcy Thompson, and I'll be your worship associate today. Unitarian Universalism has no creed, and we are all welcome in this sanctuary. Those of all national origins, races, ethnicities, genders, sexual orientations, of all spiritual beliefs. We commit to this journey, individually and collectively, toward spiritual growth, social transformation, and environmental responsibility, and living out these values through worship, reflection, connection, and service. We come with much on our minds today, and in our hearts. Some of us come with joy, others with a deep well of sadness, others with anxiety about the present or future. Most of us come, I think, with a mixture of many of these emotions. Still, we are here, we come together. This is the time of year when we reflect on our lives, our stories, and the path before us in this new year. If this is the first time worshiping with us, please complete the card in the seat pocket in front of you and place it in the bowl during the offertory. We would like to get to know you. Alas, it is also that time of year to undeck our halls, so to speak. If you enjoyed the Christmas decorations in the sanctuary this season, please join us this Tuesday the 6th at 1 p.m. to help take them down and tuck them away for next year. I think we would all appreciate the help. Many hands make light work. I'd like to briefly ask Gordy to come up and make an announcement, and then I've got another one.
Thank you, Marcy. Good morning, everyone. Looking out over these full pews, it's kind of hard to believe. In this age of declining church members or attendance of all faiths, the standing committees sees membership growth as a primary goal for our congregation. Not membership for numbers' sake, but to continue the legacy of 150 plus years of this congregation, to share Unitarian Universalist values to build beloved community. So we formed a membership growth task force. We met last November, a pilot meeting, and we're going to have a meeting next Sunday after church, Sunday the 11th, and we'd like to invite everybody here to come if you're interested. I think it's a responsibility of everybody in the congregation to help grow the membership. Again, like I say, looking out over these full pews, it's hard to believe, but I think we need to look toward the future. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you next Sunday.
I'd now like to invite Brenna, Mayor, to come up for a brief announcement.
I have what is hopefully a very small request. We are unexpectedly short on our RE assistants this morning. Surprise! So if there are one or two adults that are willing to come downstairs with us when we leave the sanctuary and stay with, thank you, Lisa. If there's anyone else who would love to come down and just see what we do in RE, you don't need to know anything. You don't need to do anything but assist. We'd be really happy to have you this morning. Thank you.
We meet on holy ground, brought into being as life encounters life, as personal histories merge into the communal story, as we take on the pride and pain of our companions, as separate selves become community. How desperate is our need for one another, our silent beckoning to our neighbors, our invitations to share life and death together, our welcome into the lives of those we meet, and their welcome into our own. May our souls capture this treasured time. May our spirits celebrate our meeting in this time and in this space, for we meet on holy ground. May Gilbert's words lead us into this sacred time and space. Come, let us worship together.
I would like to invite Abby McVeigh up to light our chalice. Words for the chalice lighting are from The Light Within Us by Brian Lee. We light our chalice as a symbol of the light within us and the life that flows through the world around us. It is our beacon as we search for truth. It is the warmth in our hearts for love. And it is the energy that propels us to action. May we be kindled by our time together. Please rise in body or in spirit to join in the singing of hymn number 350, The Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time, in your gray hymnal.
I invite those who are young and young at heart to come forward for a story. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. Are you guys too asleep to say Happy New Year? So sleepy. That's a little bit better. All right, I'll give it to you. Jeremiah thinks it's too late to say Happy New Year. Oh, well. Okay, so in the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas, Christians practice a season called Advent. Many UU churches, including ours, light an Advent wreath to observe what's important to us, as a reminder to what's important to us. There are 4 things that we think about, 4 emotions. the Advent urges us to think about. So, does anyone remember what we lit our Advent wreath for? Does anybody remember the 4 things, Jeremiah? Joy, peace, love. Starts with an H. Hope. Hope. Right? Very nice. Very good. So, yes, we light one for hope, one for love, one for joy, and one for peace. So, hope, love, and joy seem pretty easy to see during the holiday season. What do you think? Do you think that they're easy? Hoping for a certain gift that you're going to get, or for a loved one to visit us, loving your family and your friends and visiting them, spending time with them at parties and things like that, and over vacation, right? Feeling joy at being able to sleep in instead of go to school in the morning. That's pretty joyful for me. So those are all things that are part and parcel of our holiday season. But what about peace? Everything I just described seems to be kind of not super peaceful. The words hustle and bustle are attached to our holiday season. They seem to kind of really describe what happens during our holiday season. Don't you think? We're running here and there, doing all sorts of activities. So where does peace fit into that? Are kids even interested in peace? I don't know. I'm sure that many grown-ups aren't sure of that answer. In fact, I think many of us really wonder if that's even possible, right? We see wiggly, giggly kids moving their bodies all over, and we don't think about peace, first of all. That's certainly not our first thought, right? But even so, I know that you are full of hope and joy and love, the other 3 thoughts that we have at Advent, right? So why would you not be yearning for peace as well? I know that you are all full of compassion. I see it in you all the time. Your fellow feeling for another person, understanding what they're going for, your urge to support them when they're not feeling good about themselves, right? I see that all the time. And I think that compassion and love for others comes from a deep well of inner peace. So I think even if you might not always feel it, I think you have it. I think you have it as well. Has anybody seen these people on the news or in social media? Yes, has anyone seen them lately? I see some hands out in the audience. Okay, out in the audience, listen to me. Out in the congregation. So this is a picture of a group of Buddhist monks who are from the Huangdao Buddhist Temple in Fort Worth, Texas. They are Buddhist monks. Buddhist monks and nuns are people who have given up their material possessions, such as cars and houses, and even their clothes and hair, to live a life devoted to mindfulness, which is a practice of being aware of one's own reactions and actions in the world, and compassion, which I already explained to you, understanding what other people might be feeling and offering our support, right? So these particular monks left their home in Fort Worth on October 26th to walk for peace, unity, and compassion in our country and in the world. Many of them barefoot or wearing only socks. So their goal is to walk all the way to Washington, D.C., a journey of 2,300 miles, barefoot, walking the whole way. Along with the monks is a dog that they adopted, or that adopted them, followed them back to their temple when they were in India. They named the dog Aloka, which means light. And Aloka has his own Facebook page, so look him up. So the monks have visited many towns on their walk, and they've stuck pretty much to towns, right? Not a lot of big cities. And people of all faiths and all beliefs have been coming out to meet them and offering them encouragement. In return, monks have offered blessings and wishes for peace. They say that each step on their journey is a symbol of mindfulness, compassion, and the aspiration to bring harmony to the world. They have inspired many, many people, and they're only about a third of the way there. Think of all the people that they will inspire on this amazing journey. If you aren't already following their journey, I invite you to look them up. There's even a live tracking app to see exactly where they are, kind of like tracking Santa's sleigh on Christmas Eve. Same kind of idea. So we can take a hint from these brave, compassionate monks. If we can remember to stay filled with hope, love, joy, and yes, peace, even when it isn't the holiday season. Maybe we can help the monks to spread this idea of unity and compassion for ourselves and one another. If we can do that for all of January, or maybe the whole year, or maybe even our whole lives, how wonderful would the world become? I invite the grown-ups to sing the children and teachers to religious education. The words are in your order of service.
I invite you now to get settled into your space. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you ground yourself by planting both feet on the floor. Maybe you take a deep breath in and out. Let us reflect now together on these words adapted from The Milestone of Your Life by Rita Capezzi. No matter how far you travel, no matter if you don't travel at all, you are on the cusp of a new life. People will have expectations of you. People you love will have expectations of you, both spoken and unspoken. This you already know. May you know, too, that you carry within you a spark of the universe creating itself. That spark connects you to all that is, to all that was, and all that will ever be. That spark is always there in you, always there bringing you into being, always a force of creativity and possibility, especially when the expectations of others overwhelm or disappoint you. When you doubt yourself or feel afraid, when you fail, as we all do at times, remember that spark, always there sustaining and revitalizing you, like the love you find in this congregation. We are always a home for you. Your community is here for you. Blessings upon you and the milestones of your life. You may come forward and light a candle now if you wish. Let us kindle the light.
Our reading this morning is from The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? The grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
This morning is one of our annual very special services where 3 members of the congregation will be sharing their words of wisdom with us. This morning, 3 of our own from 3 different generations will share their answer to the question, what will you do with your one wild and precious life? After each sharing, we will respond as a congregation by singing one verse of hymn number 6 in your gray hymnal, just as long as I have breath. We will remain seated while singing. Please have your hymnals ready. And now, without further ado, we will begin.
Hi, folks. I'm Milo, which most of you know already. Very proud of you. I try to always be there to help people out in my life. Subbing in for RE, doing work with Wussy G, singing in the choir. Hi, John. That's something I want to spend my wild and precious life doing, helping other people. The challenge with that, which I've had to reckon with a lot over this recent holiday break, is what should I do with myself when there's nobody who immediately needs my help? I've been trying to do things for my own self-improvement, creating more art, most recently collages, and renovating my room, but it doesn't really feel like enough. There's not a tangible goal that I'm hitting beyond my own personal satisfaction. Same with other projects I've been working on over the break, like having my lines memorized for the school play. Increasingly, I have to be the judge of how satisfied I am with my own work. And that's really tough to do. I have very high expectations of myself, especially how efficiently I use my time and whether or not I'm making progress or helping others. So, when I feel like I fall short of my self-imposed goals, I beat myself up a little about it. Nothing I do seems like quite enough sometimes, and it's tough to let go of the feeling that I could always be doing more. This is exactly the opposite of what Mary Oliver does in her poem. She gallivants through a field, looks at a couple of bugs, enjoys a moment, and calls it a day. When I reread the poem over the holidays, I genuinely thought, man, poets really must have a lot of free time. And they can just wander around looking at stuff and still have a good day. I really struggle to imagine myself doing that and feeling like I spent my time wisely. Maybe that sounds a little silly. But on a related note, I've been taking a lot more walks lately. Not walks as nature reveling as Mary Oliver's. I usually have my earbuds in, but walks nonetheless. If I'm getting fed up with my homework assignments, I stomp my way through the snowy streets. If I feel like I've been spending too much time on my phone, as I often do, I go pick up some books at the library. It's a good way to get out of my own head and into the larger world, which, in a way, is what Mary Oliver is recommending. There we go. Maybe it's the beginning of me paying more attention to the world, getting out of my own head, and being a little easier on myself. And it's good that I'm doing this now. I'm at a point in my life where I'm transitioning from being a kid, being like told what to do all the time, to making my own decisions. It's a time where I'm starting to figure out more clearly how I want to spend my one and precious life. I'm finishing senior year of high school and planning for college. I'm thinking about going into food science to learn more about how to create, transport, and conserve food in ways that'll help the world save energy and help fight climate change. While I reserve the right to change my mind down the road, I do love changing my mind. Right now, I feel like becoming a food scientist may be the best way for me to help the world at large. Mary's poem says that I don't have to hold myself to anything more than what makes me happy. If I want to frolic in a field and look at grasshoppers all day, I'd be just fine in her eyes. But personally, I want to have high expectations of myself, to help the world. But I also want to find ways to be more forgiving of myself when I don't reach my goals. To be just as pleased with my walk through the snow or to the library as when I finish a major school assignment. As I start the next stage of my life, I want to help others and find fulfillment in it. And starting with how I see myself, being kinder to myself is maybe a good first step. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ginger. I've never stood up here before. It's a great view. I highly recommend. I have the honor of representing the middle generation today. I hope I am lucky to represent the next someday. In keeping with New Year's traditions, I will incorporate a countdown from 10 to 1, describe the faceted crystal ball that is where I am as of 2026, and make another resolution I will not be able to keep. In keeping with New Year's, this will lead me to answer the Mary Oliver's question, what will I do with my one wild and precious life? Here goes. I've lived in 10 states. I've worked for 9 tech startups. I've adopted 8 cats, plus a grandcat and a dog. I've mentored 7 women through professional programs. I've followed 6 different career paths in software, teaching, project management, and others. I have 5 wonderful nieces, and they're 3 lovely mothers. I claim 4 minority identities in context. For example, I represent Gen X in my Silent Generation book club, and I'm the only woman on way too many technical calls at work. I've earned 3 university degrees. I have 2 amazing daughters. I am one thread in the tapestry of Winchester. Cue the confetti. The 2026 Waterford Crystal Ball is 12.5 feet in diameter and weighs over 12 tons. We'll see it again as it rings in the country's 250th this July. While my life is not nearly that large, it is beautiful. I am proud to be part of and able to connect several mission-driven organizations. When I joined the Enka Society in 2015, Brenda was so proud to be at the head of the big slide line. She handed me the first ticket I collected in my inaugural Enka fair. Fiona is similarly proud, and I'm so excited that she joined me in the society last spring. Through Enka, I have sponsored grants for Gardens for Good, an offshoot of the Right Lock Farm formed to address local food insecurity. Gardens for Good will farm an approximately 900 square feet plot in my yard in 2026. A smaller plot in 2025 supplied 215.8 pounds of the total of 866 pounds of veggies we sent to our Enka pantry, where I volunteer, as well as to the Woburn Council of Social Concern. I found out about Gardens for Good from and broke ground with members of the Winchester Unitarian Society in 2023. Joining the congregation was a very happy accident in 2018, and I am pleased to be serving my 2nd year as your clerk on the standing committee. I am content, note the word content, with the life I've built, with one very notable absence. I maintain and grow an incredible network of friends. I have supportive people in my birth and chosen family. I will laugh and cry for Brenda and treasure Fiona every day of the rest of my life. I have been blessed with a lot of love and cats. Being content is more calm and sustainable than being happy. I cannot maintain happiness all the time. I will grieve. I will feel joy. I will be angry. And I will be cozy and sleepy on the couch, binge watching Gilmore Girls or Star Trek with my kids and cats. So here's the resolution I cannot keep. In 2026, I will control the numbers. I will grow, hold constant, or add the right ones to my countdown. I do not expect to succeed. No matter how much influence I exert, I cannot predict exactly what will happen. Will I have more grandcats? Will I leave Massachusetts? Will I get another degree? What other opportunities will I have to be part of mission-driven organizations within and beyond Winchester? So Mary, let me answer your question. With my one wild and precious life, I will continue to adapt and learn from whatever comes my way. I will continue to love, serve, and thrive. I will be content in every moment that I can. Thank you all for being a supportive and welcoming community and for listening to me today. May we all find some peace in the new year.
My name is Stephen Peter Baldwin. You know me as Pete Baldwin, and we'll leave it that way. I am 80 years old and fully retired. Joan and I have been married for 57 years. We have 2 children, Alex, 53, in Portland, Oregon, and Matt, 48, in Exeter, New Hampshire. I was born in New York City's Greenwich Village, and I am the 8th great-grandson of Henry Baldwin, one of Woburn's founders. I grew up in White Plains, New York, played basketball at the high school, a 2,000-student, fully integrated public school. I chose Purdue University because I wanted to go where no one else was going. I wanted to do a makeover. I graduated as a mechanical engineer and met Joan through one of my art class electives. I opted for a career in technical sales and joined Ingersoll Rand as a sales engineer in Charlotte, North Carolina in 1968, when you had to say North Carolina. It turns out that after 7 years, I'd become pretty good at selling air compressors. I asked to pursue an international assignment and became a compressor area manager living in London, covering UK and Scandinavia. 2 years later, I was promoted to the compressor product manager in Milan, Italy, responsible for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We returned to Charlotte after another 2 years, and I became the screw compressor product manager for US, Latin America, and Asia Pacific. In a major reorganization shortly thereafter, I was asked to create a new marketing function in the air compressor group. We had set up in 1980, we set up a target market and prospecting strategy supported by what we now call a CRM system, 1980. During that time, I identified and negotiated license and agreement with Kawasaki for a turbo blower, negotiated sales agreements on screw compressors with GHH in Germany, and at the same time negotiated a memorandum of understanding for a corporate joint venture with Daewoo in South Korea. I implemented the Kawasaki agreement for 3 years and then was asked to be the VP of Sales and Service North America for IR, Ingersoll Rand, and over 7 years successfully implemented major service force reorganization. That effort is detailed in a Harvard Business School case study. In 1995, I was transferred to Woburn as the president of NREC, subsidiary of Ingersoll Rand, and a world-famous turbo compressor design firm, and where I led Ingersoll Rand's microturbine development. Fortuitously, my 84-year-old mother was living alone on the Cape when we were transferred. We were able to support her throughout. We still have the property at the Cape which serves to connect the family. I left NREC in 2000 to become an energy tech consultant, completing almost 60 different assignments, worked with Cambridge Energy Research, CERA, as part of its distributed energy practice, and performed due diligence for the leading Wall Street energy tech investors. I then joined a Seattle-based company, Ramgen Power Systems, to pursue their Department of Energy-funded supersonic compressor technology as applied to carbon capture and sequestration, CCS. I was the principal point of contact for CCS worldwide through 2004 and through 2015. Siemens bought Ramgen in 2015, and I returned to consulting. I had been the chair of ASME's International Gas Turbine Institute Fuels Committee for 10 years, authored 40 op-ed columns in turbo machinery and magazines and Gas Turbine World magazines, and a featured speaker over 30 times. Surprisingly, I reunited with IR, Ingersoll Rand, in retirement as a corporate witness, subject matter expert on asbestos litigation, and by the way, a $40 million machinery failure accident in Canada. I've traveled the world, been to many unusual places, and met wonderful people throughout. I really enjoyed exploring cultural differences and connecting the dots, people, places, and things, reflecting I would do it again. Going forward, my plan is to stay relevant, to use my platform to affect climate change, and where possible, support energy-related startup companies. I will continue to lead great decisions discussion groups at Tufts. I would enjoy the opportunity to share my experiences counseling youth on career opportunities and choices. I love the idea of discussion groups on climate change and/or business practices in general. I love diversity and see it as one of America's greatest strengths. And I will continue to enjoy my New York Times with a variety of friends at Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. I would like to apologize to the next generation for leaving things in such a mess. Thank you.
Now comes the time in our service to make an offering to support this self-supporting church and its many, many ministries. One hoped-for goal of our church is to encourage all who gather here to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We are now asked to make an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit. Our Share the Plate will go to support India Wood and a delegation of UU ministers traveling to Palestine this month. The offering will now be generously given and gratefully received. Those who wish to do so are invited to join in the unison affirmation. We gather not for ourselves alone, but to use our common power to build the beloved community within and beyond these walls. We create and reaffirm this covenant this day to make justice flourish, to practice compassion amidst difference, and to embody transformative love. Please join in singing Life Calls Us On, printed in your order of service.
Friends, part of the purpose of religious community is to encourage us to reflect on our journeys and to not just live our lives as we are without thinking, but to live them with intention. We have heard some of the intention of some of our members shared with us today, and we are grateful for their wisdom. May we reflect in the coming week and the coming weeks on our intention for our lives and answer for ourselves, what will you do with your one and precious life? Go and be blessed and be a blessing. Amen.
to join us in the Sims room for further